Oh, hi. I was just watching me on the internet. If you check out Blame Society, the YouTube channel, my friends do beer and board games. I'm in the latest episode. They're in Madison, where we live. And so they're my friends now, because I'm in Madison. They were my enemies before. No, they were always my friends. Anyway, it's pretty funny stuff. Not for kids, though. I haven't watched the whole thing. I assume it's not for kids. Based on our conversations we were having while we were playing. So, today, I have been editing interviews that I did a while ago about minimalism. I've been paring them down, whittling them down, getting worried that this video, I told myself I was going to make this video happen quicker. I was going to do things to make it. It just can't. If I want it to be good, I have to put the time in. And I'm getting worried that I'm going to run out of time. So, back of my mind, I got a backup plan. Come up with a video that doesn't take as long. Put that one out instead. Finish this one for later. Give it the time it deserves. I don't know what that video is that doesn't take as long, but I'll come up with something. I used to make videos every weekday. Often they were nonsense, but that's fun too. Maybe this will be a little bit more nonsense. People like that too. Not as many people, it seems, but people like that. So I may finish though. I'm not giving up, but here we are. Okay, here we are. What else is going on? I am about to go for a walk with my baby. So I've taken to thinking about walking more like exercise. I used to think like, well, it's getting late. I can't go for a run now. I have to change and get all sweaty and then shower later and then but I could just walk. That's good too. Walking is good too. So I'm going to do that. And that's also, next month we're doing the 10,000 steps every day. So that's nice that I'm thinking that way, isn't it? Although Jack Conti, one of the people we're collaborating with on that video, also founder of Patreon, hurt his hip, apparently. And China's knee hasn't been feeling great lately. It's getting better now. So maybe we might have to postpone that video as well or do something else. Everything's up in the air always, you guys. With me, it's you gotta be reactive. You gotta you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta sometimes you gotta you know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. Live stream happening on Sunday. Right here on the Patreons for you. So at noon Central, they usually go for like a half hour. Maybe I play some songs, talk some stuff. If you watch all of these videos, it might be a lot of stuff I've already talked about. Who knows? Once I get talking, I didn't know I was going to do the whoosh, whoosh thing that I did. So good for me. Anything else new going on? That's it, guys. I'm just editing. I'm making a video, working on the minimalism. To talk more about the minimalism, I'm the James Altucher stuff. You should read about his minimalism journey, because I feel like his interview. I don't want to play favorites, but his interview was the most interesting because he talked about his insane story of minimalism, which is he was going through something. He had just divorced with his wife and got rid of everything. He had a big house, apparently. I don't know if it was a big house, but he had a lot of stuff in it, the way he describes. He had his assistant, someone who does things for him. He called her up, said, "Get rid of everything in my house. Everything." And then he left for 7 days. He took a backpack, and they got rid of it, and his lease was up. It was a house he was renting. His lease was up, got rid of everything. He was gone for 7 days. It apparently took his assistant, she had to recruit her family, get an 18-wheel truck, Took her the full 7 days to get rid of everything. He comes back. That's all he has is a backpack and no house. So he gets an Airbnb, and then he gets another Airbnb. For 4 years, he lived that way, and he lived in all different cities, but mostly New York, and he went all over New York. And describes what it did to him, for him, and to him. And he feels, and now he lives in a place with someone, a significant other, and he had to rebuild his stuff. But now he only buys things that he loves, and he has much better relationship with material things. He doesn't really ascribe to a minimalism movement. He doesn't even like the word minimalism. But you could say what he did was minimalism to the extreme. But the word minimalism is kind of a vague thing. It's hard to define. I talked about this before. That's something I'll talk about in the video. Because I feel like some people say they're minimalists and they have a pretty specific idea what it is, and they feel like they're a part of a movement. And then there's people like James Altucher, who's truly like detached himself from material things, and knows now, and because of it, feels like he can identify the things that are most valuable in his life, which is what the movement talks about, yet would not call himself part of a movement. And then there's Chelsea Fagan from the Financial Diet, there's a lot of negative things to say about it, mostly like because they call it a movement, and she's fine with the lifestyle choice, and what it can do for an individual. That's great for them, but she's wary of the idea that it has any benefit for society as a whole. Like it's not gonna. She doesn't think that it's the solution for, or distracts from the real solutions we need for like the environment and mass consumption of fast fashion and throwaway culture and all this stuff. She thinks it's not really the solution for that, and that would require more systemic solution, probably by governments. And she gets very political, and I'm really struggling right now figuring out how to include it all in this video, because I do want to. I don't necessarily disagree with a lot of the things she says, but it's also kind of off topic a little, because because there are people like James Altucher, who's not a part of a movement. It really is just about the individual. So I don't know. I'll figure it out, maybe, hopefully, or I'll just throw stuff together and it'll seem like I figured it out. Tricks. I don't know if there is any tricks that I can do, but I'm working on it, trying to figure it out, trying to get it done at a decent pace, and I want it to be entertaining, a little funny. I want you to learn something. I really think the James Altucher stuff is like some of the best, though. Like, he talks about one of the big insights. I think one of the biggest insights he talks about is like happiness isn't the only good emotion. He talks about like I asked if it worked, if getting rid of all of his stuff worked, and he says, yeah, but people ask me if it made me happy, and he's like, not necessarily. Like, he was throwing away things that he missed, things he was sad to see go away. He threw those things away, but yet they still kind of made him sad because he threw them away. But he said not sad, not depressed. Melancholy is the word he used to distinguish between it. And he said that's not a bad emotion. We demonize that emotion, but it's not necessarily bad to sit, look out the window on a rainy day and think about, a moment with your kids from years ago that you no longer have any mementos for. Feel a little melancholy, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of a good, healthy emotion to go through. That's the way as he describes it. And I like that idea that happiness isn't the only good emotion. Being bored, being sad sometimes feels good eventually. It's just so that kind of discussion I want to get in there because that's really good. And then there's the stuff with Matt D'Avella, which is very much more of a championing the idea of minimalism and what it did for him. in the more traditional way that you would think about what minimalism is, I think. Which is also good. So, and then I'm going to talk to China. I still haven't talked to China about it. I'm going to have to pare that interview down. I hope I can get this done in time. But if not, I better come up with a backup plan. Okay. Go about your Friday. Be well. Have a good weekend. Thank you for the support. Maybe see you on Sunday for my live stream. Check out the Blame Society video. Yeah.